we're gonna be live soon. Um,
This is The Shelter and Marissa Funny here with the song You Told Me So. And Shofar Band before that with Lift You Up. And the time has just gone 16 minutes past 11 o'clock on this Motivational Monday. On a Monday, we love to encourage you, to motivate you to grow in your personal space, in your spiritual life, but also with your career. And how do you do that? Well, you can grow through speaking to a career strategist, and that's what we do here on Reaching Higher. We have Kodani Shatwayo, who is live with us right about now. Good morning from beautiful and cloudy. I know contrast, but cloudy East London, Kodani.
yeah, it's. I think it's also the same this side. The weather
Oh, wow.
is a bit chilly. We slowly approaching winter. It is now autumn, so I'm quite warm. And the way I'm dressed today. I went to school for my kids. International Week. So different countries are showcasing their cultures from from their countries. And I wanted to dress up like a South African, but I had to put on something underneath to keep warm. So I was quite disappointed
It's quite different from South Africa where you just dressed with short sleeve and all that.
Yes, no, it's freezing. I think I think it was like 15 degrees today Celsius.
Oh my word. So let's not even go there because that's not my portion at all. So good, darling, for anybody who doesn't know who you are, please can you remind them who Kodani Shatwayo is?
Thank you so much, Bantu, and also thank you for the warm welcome. So it is evening this side. I am in China for those that are joining in for the first time. I am Kodani Shatwayo, a mom of two beautiful boys, a wife. I'm a career strategist, and I'm a founder of Career and Corporate Hub, which focuses on empowering professional students with education and also just supporting with career road mapping, CV writing, and all things career and corporate. So I studied mechanical engineering and a postgraduate diploma in business administration, and currently I am full-time on career coaching. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. This is beautiful because this is what you want. Now, I would like to ask this question. Okay, so this is a scenario for anybody. I have a 9 to 5. Okay, but now with the current financial state, sometimes one income is not enough. But can I get another source of income even though that I've signed a contract, a legal binding contract with my employer? Can I then also get another another source of income even though I've signed legally a contract with my employer?
Yeah, that's actually a very good question, Bantu. When you bind yourself into a contract, there is a part where, it asks you, for most companies, where it asks you about, like if you've got a business that is running and they want to see if it's of conflict of interest with, the contract that you binding yourself into, and it won't be if then you say you don't have, then you have, which would be breach of contract. So there is usually that clause that like a contract, contractual agreement, employment agreement has. So it can be advisable and it cannot be advisable to have multiple streams of income when looking at how you want to streamline your career. In terms of looking at the economy, it's definitely advisable that you have multiple streams of income, as long as you know the direction that you want to take your career to. And then at the same time, when I say it's not advisable, then it could be a disruption into your career. right? And then
Mm.
at the same time, it could be a conflict of interest with, the company that you're working for. So there's quite a lot of factors that you have to really look at when you go into, like trying to get multiple streams of income. So there's
All
definitely
right.
quite a lot. For an example, yeah, but do you get what I mean though by that?
Yes, yes, yes. I truly get what you mean because I mean you've signed a legal binding contract,
Mm-hmm.
and so therefore with the conflict, like it could be a conflict for your employer, and it could hinder your work. Because I mean, you might not be able to deliver full capacity because you're trying to juggle many roles. Now, with that, I know perhaps you might be doing something. Some people even look at it saying, it's just like a passion. This is what I'm passionate about. That's why I'm also doing it. But should one be also chasing the passion while on the road of climbing the career?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I read a book called Ikigai, which was a great book, because, a lot of people get into depression because, yes, they have, like went to school and they've got a degree, they are working, but still it feels like a lot of work, and that's just, they can't really connect with what they're doing. And, with
Okay.
Ikigai, that book, the author says that there are few questions that you should always ask yourself with what you are doing with your life. You need to check if what you're doing is more meaningful. For an example, questions like, do I love what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Am I good at what I'm doing?
Okay.
Does it problem solve community issues or world issues, and if
Okay.
any of those things are not being fulfilled, then it might not be your passion, and then which could then
Yes.
be maybe something that you won't enjoy doing, and you might end up being miserable at work. So that's why it's quite important
Mm,
that you ask
mm,
yourself those questions before you really get to commit into a job. I understand the notion of you should, go after your passion, and
mm.
sometimes it's really country dependent on where you can chase after your passion. In a place
Yes.
where, for an example, in
The
South
economy.
Africa, where the economy is not doing so great, and also the unemployment rate is very high, and then you chase after passion. You could spend like 10 years not really getting an
Mm,
income, not getting anything and not getting anywhere, because maybe the passion that you have then does not bring money. And that's also one of the questions that, the ikigai also asked, like, does it bring money, and with almost everything that we do, we want to see an income coming through, because that's how we're going to sustain our life,
all
in our
right. Thank,
lifestyles as well.
thank you for answering that one, Kurani, and thank you for clearing that one up. I mean, it's also important to have a clear career roadmap as well, because I mean, you need to then look at that career roadmap to say when you are weighing your options, when you are looking at okay, I mean, for any opportunity that comes your way, you need to check it. Does it align with the vision that I have for my life? Because sometimes we might say yes to something which then derails us from climbing that career ladder or becoming our full potential. That too can also be a possibility. So just remind us once again for why the purpose of having a career roadmap, and would it also serve a purpose for having, other opportunities or looking at other avenues? Would it then also be something that held us accountable when we have that roadmap?
Yeah. So the importance of having a career roadmap is to have a clear direction with where you would like to be in the future, like what are your future, goals. So if you have then like a career roadmap, then it streamlines where you are, where you would like to be, and also the path that you have to take to get to where you would like to be. And that also, looks at the development steps that you need in order for you to get to your your future goals. So now if you don't have like a proper clear roadmap, then you wouldn't really have a proper direction to get to where you would like to be. And with this, it also gives you an opportunity for you to get a mentor, because then you would know that this is the path that I would like to take. Therefore, in order for me to get there, maybe there's Kodani that is already doing this, then she can help me to get there. So if you don't have like a clear direction, then you can be all over, because then nothing is very clear. And in terms of while we're also discussing about having multiple income, that it's also important. Sometimes when you have like a clear direction of where you would like to be, it could, you could also look at what is it that maybe people come to me for, and that could be a trigger of something that you're good at, and you may find that you are able to balance your work and also help people, and something that could also generate income. For an example, with career coaching, something that is not far off from what I'm doing. When I started career coaching, it's quite advisable to start with what you have. I really love working with people, but I'm in engineering, and I always felt like I was lost in the beginning in engineering. But trust me, I found my purpose, in just being in engineering and also helping people. So a lot of people want to change their careers because they feel like they can't find their purpose where they are. And the truth is, you can find your purpose anywhere where you are.
Sure.
So then, with and also just becoming a leader, then help me with mentoring people, and then I grew this fond of just coaching, helping, empowering. And then now this is like, my aha moment, that this is actually what I love. I love coaching. But then with coaching, does that mean that I have to quit engineering now? No, I still love engineering. However, I can then be able to do the two at the same time, because they also interlink. So now this is how also you can create those multiple of income without really one overtaking the other, which could happen as well. So now it's like, are you really living in the are you in the present? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Is your primary work, is it not lagging? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kodani, for sharing all that. As we're going to wrap it up, I just want to ask a question. We spoke about keeping accountable or communicating with your manager. Would then somebody who is, pursuing like something like your passion, would it be advisable for then you to communicate to the employer or to the manager to say, yes, this is my 9 to 5, but I've also got other projects that I'm doing in the community. Was it advisable to do that, and so that you don't go against the work policy if there is, any policy that is in place?
Yeah, I think at the stage where you see that the project is maturing, and also you are very much sure that it is not of conflict of interest with with the company's interest. That's why it's quite important that you read the company policies and see how you could with what you're doing could be a breach of contract. And I like what you mentioned in the beginning, that sometimes the capacity can be affected, although it's not conflict of interest. So that's why it's quite important that then there's also that alignment with your manager. And also with your manager, it's not just a matter of just alignment. It's also explaining. It's also explaining the situation and the why. Like, why is it doing?
Okay.
Like, why?
Okay, all right. Thank you, Kodani, for answering that one. I think let us release you now, Kodani, for climbing the career ladder for today. So let's just wrap it up. So for anybody who is wanting to climb a career ladder, but yet they're finding themselves, maybe, they do have a current job, but they're also needing to make extra income. How do they go about that to ensure that they also deliver at all their tasks?
Yeah. there's quite a lot of questions that they have to ask themselves with the side hustle. Let's maybe rather call it that.
That yes, yes,
The
yes.
side hustle
And,
has.
and we hear that a lot now. A lot of people say, yeah, no, I've got a side hustle, I'm selling this, I'm doing this, I'm
Yes,
doing this. But
yes.
is that also something that one should be looking at doing, even though they've got a state income?
Yes, I wouldn't discourage it. However, you should understand what your future aspirations are, because sometimes your future aspirations could be climbing the corporate ladder, and then your side hustle then takes over the capacity of your, the work that your primary in source of income, and also like where you see yourself in the future. So there's quite a lot of questions that you should ask yourself, and also just where do you see yourself with the side hustle as well, like because it could interfere with your main career that you that could
True.
potentially take you far. So there's quite a lot of questions that you should really ask yourself, and at the same time, there's things that could also fuel your energy outside of work. And when you come to work, you
Yes.
come back recharged, and those things also bring a source of income. So there's quite a lot that really you should look into before committing into having multiple streams of income. I think now we live in a world where everything is on the internet, and when somebody sees someone doing something, maybe for an example somebody having a lot of source of income, they feel like they can also do it, but they don't really understand what goes into it and how they are also managing. So it's quite
True.
important that you look at your own case individually, and then how then you see yourself in the future. Are you then going to pursue your professional career, or you want to get into business? And while you're also talking about business, then how do you view your business? The book that I'm currently reading called Running with Purpose by Jim Weber, who's the CEO of Brooks. Brooks is the I don't know if you know the running shoe brand that is like very popular. He had an opportunity to run his own company, but he felt like he does not want to run a small business, because if he was going to run his own company, it could have stayed as a small business. Therefore, he continued climbing the corporate ladder, which then these are some of the things that we have to look at, just to be realistic about them. Do we want to, have like this big contribution in the world, in the community, running, like maybe climbing the corporate ladder, getting to the CEO or executive board of, directors? Or do you want to then run a small business? So those are some of the
All right.
questions that we have to ask ourselves. I feel like a lot of people just don't also look at like the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture? Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Kodani, for sharing on that. And just to repeat the name of the book one more time, you got cut off there. I think the network dropped. What is the book title, so that anybody who is looking to do something like this or pursue, maybe their passion or other streams of income, what is the title of the book? And then also, if you can just mention, how can they contact you if anybody would like to get some career coaching with you? How can they book a session, and how can they contact you?
So the name of the book, or the title of the book, is Running with Purpose, and the author is Jim Weber. So yeah, it's quite a great book. I think, it's answering a lot of my questions that I've been having, and not really having a lot of answers to. And then where you can contact me, you can find me on LinkedIn and on Instagram at Kodani Hlatshwayo, and then on TikTok, as well as on TikTok is Career and Corporate Hub, and YouTube Career and Corporate Hub. Then on my email, if you need career coaching, and please do put your subject as career coaching or career strategy, at corporate career.corporatehub@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you so much, Kodani, for dialing in to South Africa as you are on the other side of the world, but you continue with this purpose and your passion of career coaching. So if you would like to connect with Kodani, she is available to do any coaching online. If you need support, whether it is CV writing, whether it is, getting your career roadmap into place, or whether you need to prepare for an interview for a job opportunity, then you can contact her. You can WhatsApp me on the studio number 0729429270, and I'll share those details with you. Thank you once again, Kodani, for the time today. And if you want me to also share the book title with you, Running with Purpose, send me a WhatsApp and I'll ask her to share maybe the cover of the book, a picture with us via the WhatsApp number. So thank you, Kodani. That was another segment of Climbing